Good morning, Robert. Just wondering if you could update us on what exactly. So today is just a normal practice, or are you into the Buffalo prep, or how would you characterize what's happening today?
Call it a bonus Monday. So it's just go out there and we haven't played football in a few days, so just go out, just play football. So it's just a normal practice, but we are obviously emphasis on Buffalo.
Robert, when we were out there Thursday, I didn't see Will McDonald. Is he dealing with something?
No, was he not here? Oh, he had his wisdom teeth pulled. Oh, he's back today. That's right.
How are you health-wise? Is anyone not practicing today?
No, we're in pretty good shape. We're not going to practice Brees, but that's nothing wrong with that. It's just part of the maintenance program. But other than that, everything else is good to go.
Robert, when the season starts, will Brees be on a snap count? Will Dalvin be on a snap? Because they haven't done as much.
Yeah, we're going to be. I don't know if I want to call it a snap count, but we are going to be smart with them. We'll continue to evaluate and build up what we think Monday needs to be, but it's not that we're putting a snap count on. It's just there are two really good football players. Michael Carter is a really good football player, and just trying to find a way to feature all of them, and along with the receivers and tight ends that we have. So there's going to be enough to go around.
Robert, as you're putting together this game plan for this week, are there things that you were obviously there are things that you were unable to do last year because Aaron wasn't there. Do you find that permeates the whole thing? Like, were you doing things defensively last year to almost protect the offense that you don't have to do anymore?
No, the goal on defense is to get the ball back for the offense as many times as possible. Whether it's a takeaway, a punt, whatever it is, you're just trying to get the ball back to the offense, and then what the offense does from there is whatever it does. But no, defensively, you're always just trying to get the ball back. It's the best way I can put it.
Robert, when you scout Buffalo, they obviously have a lot of great defensive players, Davis White, but Von Miller's not going to be available week one. Do you feel that changes the game plan at all from an offensive standpoint?
No, because their D-line is as deep as anyone. They play hard. They're relentless up front, and so they've got plenty of horses in the stable, if you will. But they're pretty damn good up front. And yes, Von Miller is a phenomenal football player, but that's not going to change their ability to get after the passer.
Robert, you guys obviously have gained so much attention since Aaron's come in and whatnot, and all the things you've done in the off season. I'm curious what your take is on what about your team's makeup will be able to handle that when from the guys that you have in that locker room, because obviously there's a lot of scrutiny and a lot of expectation that this organization hasn't been used to.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's the good thing is we've got a good balance of veterans who have been through the fire, and so there's in the locker room and young guys talking to veterans seeking guidance, and there's coaches obviously on the staff who've been through the fire, so it's handling expectations and all that. I think when you get to this level, your whole life is about handling expectations. These kids are a guy like Garrett Wilson, or who's been the star receiver his whole life, or Sauce, who's been the star corner, and obviously at Cincinnati and being a top 10 pick. Like they live in expectations. But I think what is cool about this group is that they're able to focus on the moment, and they're so intrinsically motivated that I don't think outside noise really bothers them. It's because they're trying to be the best they can. They don't feel like they've proven anything. They're just trying to prove something every single day. It's a really, really cool group of guys.
Is there an element to you and the guys on the team that you embrace this expectation?
Well, you want it. Of course, it's better than the alternative. You work hard to be able to put yourself in position to have a realistic shot at something. Now, with that said, we haven't done anything. We still have to go do it. But I joke around and I talk about how the expectation in New York is 17-0 every year, right? It's whether you're expansion team or not, but it's to have expectations and to know that you can fulfill those expectations that's why we do this, to have realistic shots at achieving the pinnacle of sport. But again, you still got to bring it back to the moment. We still haven't done anything, and we just got to focus day to day and just try to be the best we can.
Thanks.
Robert, how difficult was that when you were going through it? I mean, last year, obviously, you talked about the receipts and everything like that, but when you're trying to climb, but you're still not there.
Yeah, it's when we first got here a couple years ago or whatever it was, 2021, we knew there was going to be a build in terms of just trying to change the locker room, bringing in the right type of people and the right coaches, and working, finding that synergy between the coaching staff and the scouting department with Joe and myself, and then obviously just having that one singular focus on the type of player that we want to bring in all three phases of football. And so yeah, you can get frustrated because you're like, God, is nobody recognizing the progress this organization's making. But at the same, with some of the questions we get, but at the same time, you stay focused, keep the main thing, and that's us. That's everything in this organization. And we've been able to stack up a lot of really good decisions, and the result is a really freaking good locker room of people who embody everything you want out of a football player. And now it's just a matter of continuing to stay focused on the moment, keep the main thing, and just find ways to get better every day and see what happens.
Has the team elected captains yet?
We had our vote this morning. They're tallying it up. We'll have it after practice.
Robert, you talked a lot about you just spoke about the outside noise. What's the inside noise? How would you describe that as you're a week away from opening night?
That's a good one. Focused, I think. You just you talk to the players and they're all speaking the right language. It's a cool group, man. They're completely locked in, and again, we've got to get going. We still got to prove it to ourselves every day. I think there's a mindset that I don't think any of these guys look themselves in the mirror and say, I've arrived. I think this is a group that knows that we've got to put in work. I think this is a group that knows that every day is just as important as the next, and so I think this group is focused.
That's different.
A couple more for Coach.
No, it's not that it's different. It's there's I don't know. I don't think it's different. I think it was always the vision to make sure that we're bringing in guys who have this ability to focus and keeping the main thing, and finding ways to get better every day, and going to bed better than when they woke up. And I think this, knock on wood, being year 3 and all that, I think we've gotten a pretty predominant locker room, and it's it takes time. You're always trying to fill one another out, and you're trying to learn one another. And I think this building is just working together in one voice, with one language and one heartbeat. And it's, like I said, doesn't mean anything, but everything has been going pretty good so far.
Robert, how powerful a voice and getting that stuff across that you just spoke about is Aaron? Because he's kind of one of the guys in your room that's been there and done that, so to speak, right? So.
For sure. There's a lot of them. Aaron, obviously, on offense. There's Randall's been through it. Defensively, we've got a bunch of guys who've been through it. So, CJ's been part of championship teams and playoff teams, if you will. But Jordan Whitehead won a Super Bowl. So we got a really good group. Amos back there. There's a bunch of guys all over the roster, and the more the merrier. Now Aaron's been fantastic. He really has. He's been unbelievable with his voice, his messaging, his nurturing of the young guys around him, and hopefully as we continue going through this season, what excites me is I know that we're going to see adversity. There's going to be adversity. It's not going to be a perfect season. There's going to be ups and downs, and there's always going to be noise surrounding this team, win, lose, or draw. And but what excites me about the group, like I said earlier, I think they do a good job blocking it all out. I think they keep it focused we keep it focused on us, and a guy like Aaron and all the veterans that we have the ability to help these young guys stay on that track.
Robert, as a coach, is there
I don't know if it's the right word, but relief, a sense of relief for you that after all of this talking, after all of this is game week. It's finally game week.
Yeah, no. Well, that's why we do it, right? To go play games and to experience the highs and lows. I mean, it's. I've said it to my wife many times and my kids because in the lows of lows, there's a lot of anger in a coach's household, and I always have to remind them that we're living every day in a 4-hour span. On Sunday, we experience every emotion that you can possibly experience in the human body, and so we're lucky. And so being a part of this every year, it never gets old, and we're blessed in every way imaginable.